All right, I had to redo this video uh, because I made some mistakes in what I was trying to say. All right, so this is for a visual aid. All right, you got your line 1 and your line 2 coming in. Now, let's say that this is your sub panel where your well is. All right, and you have a main panel somewhere else. Okay, and feeding from that main panel, or that main panel feeds into your 3 inverters, your 3 XPs. And in your 3 XPs have a bypass that feeds to this sub panel. So at the sub panel, you can get either direct power from the utility, or you can get the power from the 3 XPs, right, that they generate. Now, you've tested it, and you know that you have a higher voltage off of both legs together, measuring together, coming from the XPs at the box, the sub panel that feeds your well. What is the voltage if you're not using the XPs, but it's coming from the utility? What is the voltage here? And what is the hertz? What is the frequency? Right? Now, what is the voltage and the frequency back at the point where the main panel is as well? So I think you had said in one of your videos that you do have some line loss. Now, coming back to this main panel, if this double breaker right here is the output to your new inverter, the inverter that you're trying to run the pump on, and this double breaker below it is the output back into the panel, back into the sub panel from the inverter. Well, I'm sure you did it, but it just has to be said that however these lines go out into line 1 and line 2 in the inverter must match how it comes back in. Must match here. And it must match back at the main panel. Your phases got to be correct. I'm sure you did that, but I just have to say it. All right. So if your new inverter is already it's closer to the load than your XPs or your main, but it's producing less voltage per line, you also need to know what frequency that voltage is at and what frequency it is under load. Now, let's say it has to match the frequency that's coming in here and the voltage coming in here that's leaving out, leaving out of the box and going into the new inverter. The new inverter has to match this. Now, if it can match it, but it still can't start the load, then put your, if this lowest breaker here, if this is the breaker out to the pump, okay, put your CT clamps here. Set the new inverter to 0 export. So it's not trying to feed power back that is not, well, you know what 0 export is. But put the CT clamps here. Don't put them up here where power comes in. That's going to confuse the machine. Put it where power goes out to the load. Let the pump start on either the XPs or grid power. But your new inverter at that point will say, hey, I need 239 volts at 60 hertz to run the load once it's already started. So within 10, 15 seconds, it'll catch up. You know, it don't have the huevos to start that load. Those 3 XPs have, you know, it has more startup power. But it's also, like you discovered, there's something wrong with your voltage, and there's possibly also something wrong with your frequency. So, thank you.